Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. So in today's video we are going to be talking about the salary reduction and what this means for the future of FC Barcelona. Then we are going to be talking about the presidential candidates and the reasons why they do want to bring Neymar Jr. back to Barcelona. Then lastly we are going to be talking about the fitness updates of Sergio Busquets. So there is so much to talk about, but I believe one of the biggest news that did come out today, it is about the salary reduction. And it says here, and it is official, that there is a principal agreement between the players and the club for a salary reduction. And this is coming from the club themselves. They have reached a principal agreement. They will move forward with how much is going to be cut. And this is some great news to hear, not just for the club of Barcelona, but for us Barcelona fans, because now we can be in a phase and in a moment where we can finally say Barcelona is not going to go through that direction where they might potentially be bankrupt. And it has been a long time coming because we have been negotiating with these players for so many months. And obviously there has been reports stating time and time again that Barcelona is going to go through a bankrupt phase and we might potentially lose the club. And so there was a lot of tension and a lot of questions towards the temporary manager Busquets. And before this announcement, we have also heard coming from La Sede, players considered that the counter proposal presented today covers the financial needs of the club. It won't be easy, but there is now a sense of optimism and an agreement isn't ruled out. Again, this is a report that did come out before the announcement, but the fact that we have heard that there was already optimism between the players, it was very surprising to hear, because we do have to remember there were reports stating about 2 or 3 weeks ago that the players did not want to agree with the current members that was taking charge of Barcelona, because the players saw Busquets as a extension of Bartomeu, which is true, right? Because at the end of the day, the one that has hired Busquets to take charge of Barcelona, it was President Bartomeu. But again, now that we have heard that the wage cut has finally been agreed, there is still so much work to be done. We still need to have these player sales come into play. We still need to have more revenue come in from these match days. There is still a lot of work to be done, but I believe that what we have done here, what Busquets has done with the players, this is a massive step forward for the club. And just to give you guys more details on what this wage cut does look like, it says here, according to Barcelona themselves, they have stated this, it's a principal agreement that would help the club save 122 million euros. In addition, the club have deferred 50 million euros of variable payments over a 3-year period. And if you guys do not know what that last statement means, it basically means that yes, they have saved 122 million euros, but that 50 million euros that's supposed to be paid towards the players, it's going to be spread out in 3 years. So just to put this into simple terms, let's just say, for example, you agree to pay a player $3 in 1 year, but now you're going to tell him, hey, I only have $1 in my bank account. I'm going to spread these $3 in 3 years and just pay you $1 every year. That's basically what it means in the most simplest terms. But now let's step away from this topic just for a second, right? I want to go through a different route. Now that we know that the club have taken this wage cut to the players, I want to bring another report up, and this is a report that was talked about by me in a video about 4 to 5 days ago, and it was about Busquets taking a meeting with Ronald Koeman and Ramon Planes. And it has been stated that within that meeting, Busquets is going to be talking to Koeman and Planes about what these presidential candidates might say to them. Like, for example, hey, we might not want you, maybe you could stay here, but not for you, you're gonna need to go. So those decisions might be made later on January 24th. That is what Busquets wants to talk to them about. He wants to inform them that this might happen. They're also going to be talking about the economic and sporting situation that they are in within the club. And I believe that that is going to be the most talked about subject within that meeting, because now that Koeman and Ramon Planes are going to be informed that they have saved 122 million euros, this meeting that they are going to have is going to look much different, because the club is going to be in a completely different position. And this is where I question, could we finally see Ronald Koeman and Ramon Planes make the right signings and the signings that they do want? And look, I do not know the exact numbers. I don't know what exact number we do have in these accounts. I do not know the exact numbers of the value of these players. Like, none of us don't. But what I can tell you guys is this: the 122 million euros, it is going to be used to cover the 190 million euros of debt that Barcelona had, which basically means that we're still going to have to make even more revenue and more money to go past that 190 million euro debt that Barcelona had. And the only solution to get completely away from this debt would be player sales. There must be player sales either in January 2021 or in the summer of 2021. Then we can be in a positive phase financially moving forward. And so you see how everything is starting to go into place, right? You see where Barcelona is at and where they might be later in the future. And I believe that all of this is going to be communicated towards Ronald Koeman and Ramon Planes. And it says here, according to Moises Llorens, Eric Garcia will remain as a target to strengthen the center back position, but it remains to be seen whether Barcelona will send another offer to Man City in the winter transfer window or wait until the summer and get him for free. And so again, knowing that we have the wage cut, knowing that we're going to have to make even more player sales in the transfer window, this is ultimately going to come into one question within that meeting, and that is going to be, do we really need to sign Eric Garcia? Because another factor that we're going to have to put in is that Mingueza has shown up in this Champions League match. We also have Araujo is going to be coming back in about a week, and then on our left center back position we're also going to have Lenglet and Samuel Umtiti. So it is something to like really think about, but that is basically what our situation is looking like right now. There is decisions that we do have to make. In the end, Barcelona as a collective are moving forward. This wage cut is a huge accomplishment. I don't know exactly what Barcelona is going to do later down the road, but I do believe that there's now more questions towards the signing of Eric Garcia in January, because after all of these negotiations and finally achieving what we have wanted to achieve, do we really want to have Eric Garcia as our next signing? Now moving on to the next topic of the day, and we are going to be talking about Neymar Jr. So here's the thing, we know that the elections are coming on January 24th, and because of that, because we are getting so close, we are finally starting to hear what these presidential candidates want to do with this club. For example, we do have Jordi Fade, who is trying to be elected as the president of Barcelona, and according to Sique Rodriguez, it says here, Jordi Fade has been in touch with Neymar's father, and at the moment it isn't known whether an agreement is reached, but they have spoken. Then we also have Emily Rosad, who has stated that he does promise to bring in Neymar Jr. and to name the stadium Camp Nou Lionel Messi. So here's the thing, these are two men and these are two presidential candidates who believe that Neymar Jr. is the player to lead Barcelona for the future, which is very surprising to hear, because we have been discussing time and time again that Neymar Jr. almost seems impossible to bring into Barcelona. But what I believe you and me can agree on, right, for those of you guys who are watching, to bring Neymar in, do we really think that is going to make sense sportingly and economically? Because if we are going to be talking about economically and sportingly, Neymar Jr. as a signing for Barcelona would be a irresponsible signing to make. And that is the point that I do want to make with this topic. I think that bringing Neymar to Barcelona would be one of the worst things you could do to the club. Yes, would it be exciting to see a Brazilian player and a Brazilian talent like Neymar to come to Barcelona? Would that be exciting? It would. But what I believe is going on here is that these two presidential candidates are using the Neymar card, meaning they want to use the name and term called Neymar Jr. to win the elections. And do we really want to have a presidential candidate that wants to use a term such as that only to win the elections? That is only basically telling us one thing, and that is that he wants to say what the fans do want to hear. He does not want to say what is actually right for the club. So what I believe is going on here is that these two men are doing more damage than good for themselves in order to be elected as the president. And I'm going to completely rule this off. I'm going to be on the side of Neymar should not come to FC Barcelona. It would not make sense because of his wages, because of the fee that PSG are going to be demanding. I do believe that those type of funds and money should be spent towards better teachers at Barcelona and teach these players correctly how to play proper football, birth new talented young players in order to strengthen Barcelona B, and then have them be promoted towards the first team. That is the type of focus and money we do have to put in. We do want to build the next Alphonso Davies. We do want to build the next Trent. We do want to build the next Ansu Fati, the next Sancho. We do not want to buy and get the Sancho, the Neymar, or the already established Alphonso Davies. But that is where the presidential candidates' statements do stand at the moment to win the elections. They do want to bring Neymar back to Barcelona. Lastly, I do want to talk about Sergio Busquets. It says here, according to Adria Albets, in the middle of the week, Busquets has told trusted people that he has good feelings and that in 2 days he would be fine. He did work on the field yesterday and will do the same today. If he is fit enough, he could enter the call against Osasuna. Again, great news to hear, not much to it. The fact that we're going to have Busquets back in this squad is only going to give us more squad depth. I understand that there has been a lot of tension on wanting Busquets back. Some people do not want to see Busquets back in a Barcelona shirt, but I think that in the end, Barcelona right now need more depth than ever. And Busquets can do that and will do that, hopefully, against Osasuna. So that'll be it for today's Barcelona Daily News. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys in the next video.